Venkat cleared PMP with all above target.
I would have not been able to clear the exam if Amer Ali would have not been there. I would have not been.
I did not believe that I will be able to clear my PMP within a month.
I don't know what to say actually. Like I'm kind of like really
And I
trembling.
got my results and I was above target in all three categories.
Wow.
So
The thing you did was really wow. Success is not defined by 1 week, 2 week, or 1 month. I believe success is consistency. Success is moving forward, even if you feel there are so many things that are going against you in the world. Success is always thinking, okay, I can still do it. I can still work on it. And success is what just Venkat did. Just to put in the context, he joined me in my batch 7 of 2022. 2021. And I still remember the conversation we had. He said, I want to clear PMP as soon as possible. And most of the time when the students come, that's the same thing. I said, sure. And we started working on that. Interestingly, things starting to happen. And what happened, what not, he was unable to do multiple things. It took a lot of time. But in February, he said that, okay, now, now I'm gonna work on this. Now Amir, I want to do PMP. So we worked on it. And then he booked exam like 28th of April or something like that. I told him, what are you doing? Man, you are ready for the exam. Go for it. He went for it. And as they say, rest is history. Here we have a certified PMP with all above target. His story is very interesting. I will add few things, but Venkat, I want you to open your heart and share your story in as detail as much possible. Why? Amit just joined. Amit cleared almost in a 1 month. He's saying congratulations to you. Now, Amit, I would just like to add here, Amit. The students who cleared PMP in 1 month, they can be motivating, but the real thing is comeback. We always love the comeback story, right? We always love. All of us are cricket fan. Most of my audience is you. So I remember while growing up, Sachin Tendulkar used to get out there was a time he was only scoring less than 10 and ducks, and even he was left out. He's one of my favorite of all time. But he come back and he became the Sachin as we know with 100 centuries and so much. So I'm gonna compare you with that coming back and the score you got. Like PMI does not give the score, but the above target, and on above target, your graph is so much towards the end that is just fabulous. So Venkat, please share your journey, why you wanted to do PMP, and please go ahead.
Sure, Amer. Firstly, before I start, I want to thank you for all the support that you had extended. Like you said, I took quite a bit of time to finally sit for the exam because when I joined your batch 7 in I think April of last year, yeah, I wanted to kind of get done with this, but then there was a change in plans and I had to focus on something else, which is why I couldn't really give enough time for PMP. Okay, and this kind of took a back seat. Okay, but basically, I come from a quality assurance background and from a career progression perspective. This definitely is a step in the right direction for me. Okay, acquiring the project management credential. So that was one of the key reasons I was interested in the certification, and not just the fact that it's going to help with career progression. The kind of skills that you acquire when you actually learn project management is also extremely important. Okay, and I think I mean in my past role, I was working as a senior manager, and every step of the way from a manager level onwards, I think your ability to manage situations plays a very critical role, right? And that's where a program like project management plays a key role. So that was another very important reason I was interested in the certification. And the rest of it is like, yeah, I mean, I used to kind of watch videos on YouTube, and I don't know how I bumped into one of your videos. I think it's the YouTube algorithm that randomly recommends. And I once saw one of your videos, and I listened to it, and I was like, yeah, I mean, cool. He explains pretty well. And then I listened to a couple of more videos of yours, and then I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm able to understand what he's telling me, because I've seen a lot of videos prior to yours. Okay. And I wasn't really able to kind of understand all of them very well. But when it came to your videos, things were a little different. So that was when I saw your phone number on some of your videos, and I got with you, and then that's how the whole thing started. Yeah. And after that, of course, like I said, since again I was a little distracted, I was focusing on something else. What I really appreciate from your side, Amer, is the consistent follow up. Okay. I think there were times when I said, I was like, yeah, probably I won't do this. I'll give up. Maybe I'm not able to solve all the questions correctly, because I wasn't really giving it the required attention and focus. But I think in those times you supported a lot. You said, that's not how it is, and you can do it and all of that. So that was very helpful. Now, though your follow-ups initially, were kind of, I would say, they were kind of putting me in an embarrassing position, because I didn't have an update for you, and I didn't know what to tell you. I mean, you would be like, so what's the deal today? And I was like, I haven't studied anything.
I
So
need to block this guy. I need to block this guy.
so but I think that's very, very important. I mean, yeah, it kind of puts pressure on you. It might sometimes make you feel a little uncomfortable, but I think that if that pressure is not there, it does more damage. Okay. So I would definitely recommend you doing that to anyone else as well, because ultimately it helps you succeed.
Okay.
Yep.
So now you book the exam for center, right? Or home?
No, I did it from a center.
From center. So which center you did?
This was one of the centers. This was a Pearson View Center in Halifax, Canada.
Halifax, Canada. Oh, Halifax, Canada. Okay. So, and how was the center and what were the COVID conditions? Can you just dig into that? That is very important.
Yeah, so basically what I did was, after I booked my exam, like you mentioned, I had initially chosen another center, and that was scheduled for sometime in the mid of April. And then after we discussed and I preponed the exam, I then had another center that was available to book. So I went with the other center, and I think about 4 or 5 days before the actual exam day, I actually went there, okay, just to see where the center is, so that I don't have this last minute thing of looking around for the building and all that. So I went there. I, I saw the office and everything. The day I went there, it was actually closed. Okay, but at
Mhm.
least I knew the building, I knew the roads and all of that.
Mhm.
And on the day of the exam, I went there about 30 minutes before the actual time. So, I mean, I was scheduled for 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and the instructions anyway say that you got to be there like 30 minutes prior. Okay, so 12:30 I was supposed to be there, so I went there by 12 o'clock. Okay, I sat in the car for about 30 minutes in the parking lot, and then just about when it was just about 12:30, I went into the center. And it's a fairly small center. They didn't have a lot of people. There were a couple of people who had come over, I think, for some other exams, not PMP. uh, but from a COVID perspective, they had all the instructions posted there. Okay, they did want people to wear masks. Okay, so I was wearing a mask.
They did want the people to wear the mask.
Yeah, yeah. So I was wearing a mask. And apart from that, of course, they had taken my picture and all that. During the picture time, they asked me to take the mask off. I did that. Uh, and then they gave me a set of instructions that they wanted me to go through. I did that. They asked me to sign somewhere. I signed it. I think that's probably an acknowledgement that I read through the instructions. I
Yeah,
did
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
and they verified my ID. Basically, I had carried two pieces of ID. I had carried my driver's license, which was issued in Canada, okay,
Mhm.
and I also had my Indian passport with me, okay, just
Okay.
in case they're not okay with the license. I thought I'll produce the passport, but they were okay with the driver's license. So that was the ID that I had used, and then once they did the verification, they said just be seated for some time. I was sitting in the hallway there. They had some chairs over there, so I was seated there, and just about at just about 1 o'clock, they called me inside. There was another person near the room where the exam was being conducted,
Mhm.
and that was where she kind of did a thorough check of my pockets and other things. I mean, she didn't check. She basically asked me to make sure that I didn't have anything in my pockets, so she wanted me to show her that my pockets were empty. So we did that, and then she basically said that's the desk and all that, and she asked me if I needed anything else. I said, give me a calculator. Okay, so she gave me a calculator,
Uh,
uh,
Just she gave you a physical calculator.
a physical calculator. Yep,
Now
a
that's
small.
new. That's new. As even we discussed that I sent you the voice messages. They don't provide you the calculator. There's a calculator in the software. So did you have the calculator in the software or no?
Yes, I did. I did. There's like a tiny little
Mm.
icon up there
That's,
that you click.
that's interesting. Now the students can like maybe it's in Canada or they had that, but that's really interesting. Okay, moving forward then.
And then basically she set the exam up. I mean, I think they had to log into the terminal to set
Mhm.
it up. So they did that, and then she said, "Yeah, you're all set." And after I logged in, I think the first 10 minutes or so, there were some slides that were played, which had all the instructions.
Mhm.
They had very clear instructions.
Basically tutorial.
Correct, correct, a tutorial.
Okay, okay.
So I went through the complete tutorial,
Mhm.
and then I was ready for the exam.
Okay. Then, so how much time how did you manage that time to 30 minutes?
Yeah, so I had actually um, I had actually tried to do it as per your recommendation, okay, which is the 80, 75, 75.
Mhm.
But then I wanted to be kind of a little uh, aggressive in terms of the first 60 minutes. So instead of 80, what I thought was maybe I'll target 75. Okay.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
thought,
Mhm.
okay, let me target 75 because that's something that I was used to when I was doing a lot of these practice exams and other
Makes
things. So I
sense.
said, let me kind of maintain that same pace. Okay. So that was the plan. So I wanted to do 75 for the first set of 60 questions. Okay. I actually took 74 minutes. Okay. And then I went on a break. Okay. It was a 10-minute break. I came back and then started with the next set of 60 questions. The next set, I actually took about 78 minutes. Okay,
Mhm.
so I was again targeting 75 minutes. I thought, okay, fine. I had a 1 minute buffer from the previous 60 minutes. Sorry,
Mhm.
from the previous 60 questions. So I thought I had like 76 minutes with me, but I actually exceeded that. I took about 78 minutes. Okay, and then I took my second break. Okay, and then I was kind of calculating, do I have enough time for the third set of 60 questions? And I was like, I think I do because 75 is 150 minutes for the first two sections, and from that point of view, I was like, okay, I still have some time. So the third set of questions, I think I had like 76 or 77 minutes left. Okay,
Mhm.
and I utilized the entire time. Okay, uh, because I kind of spent a little longer making sure that I was choosing the right option in some cases. Okay, and when I was about to finish the exam, I had just under a minute left. I think like 50 seconds or something like that, 50. Okay, so I utilized the entire window basically.
Okay. 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 So that's a good thing. Now, which area is more important? Which was more important area in your exam?
But most of the questions that I saw were around the people aspect. Okay,
Around the around
people
the
aspect.
people
Yeah,
people and agile was the most dominant area.
exactly,
as,
exactly.
as the trend have been from you have been watching the previous videos, the trend has been the same.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an interesting thing to put in. What about a line? How many line of those questions were? Two liner, three liner, four liner.
Yeah. I would say that most of them were 2 to 3 liners. Okay.
Mhm.
In between, maybe about I don't know, out of the entire 180, I would say maybe there were about 15 or 20 that were about 3 to 5 liners. Like some of them were 3 to 4, the others were like 4 to 5. Okay,
Mhm.
but predominantly they were about 2 to 3 lines.
Okay, okay, uh, okay. So, did you have any drag and drop questions?
Yeah, I had two of them.
Two of them.
Yeah,
Which section was more difficult? First, second, and third.
I felt the first was a little difficult because especially the first two
Mm.
questions itself were kind of a
Yeah,
little difficult.
you
So
are also getting into that emotion at that time. That really plays out at that point of
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Okay. Okay, so moving forward, what else you think? How many questions did you get from multiple lines question? Okay, before that, Amit is saying congratulations,
thank
Pawan
you,
is saying congratulations, Uzair is saying congratulations. Interestingly, Sundela is saying congratulations.
thank you.
You, Sundela, and Abu Bakr cleared the PMP on same day, 3
Oh,
PMP in
okay.
a day. Yeah, but 2 PMP and 2 PMP in one center. Abu Bakr and Sindila gave this exam in one center, and the other person to the other corner of the world towards the
Yeah.
Canada. Okay, how many questions with multiple options, like four, five, or six options?
Not many, not many. I had probably about I think 3 or 4 like that. 3 or 4
Okay,
questions of that kind where they said choose two or choose three.
okay, okay. Any other graph questions?
Yes, I think I had 2 questions on graphs,
You had two
or
questions.
2 questions with graphs. Yeah.
Okay, two questions of graph. Okay, that's a good thing. Okay, anything, your final advice or whatever you would like to share with the PMP aspirant? Your call.
I think everything that you discuss on your calls, okay, everything that you mention uh, to the participants before they go for the exam, all of those are very important. Okay, you need to keep that in mind, and I think the most important thing is time management. Okay, and practicing a lot of these mock exams and all of that gives you that confidence and helps you understand how you're actually doing in terms of a full 180 question set. Okay,
Hmm.
because I think initially one of the struggles that I had was being able to sit for 3 hours or actually close to 4 hours, okay, to do a complete 180 question set.
Mhm.
So that's kind of a struggle. That may be a struggle for someone. Okay, it was a struggle for me initially, but when you practice some of those mocks, I think you should be all set.
Hmm. Okay. So you did 50-50 question, you did 60-60 questions, and 180 questions. Which do you think were the most important for your exam?
Uh, I would say more of those 60 question mocks that we had, and the 180 ones, of course, the full mocks.
How important was the root cause analysis?
Very important, I would say, very important, because it makes you understand where exactly you are going wrong conceptually.
Hmm.
Okay.
Did you use elimination technique in the exam?
Oh, quite a bit, quite a bit, because I mean, you know for a fact that you have at least two answers that sound almost the same, and you've got to ultimately filter it down to one of them, right? And that's where I think this elimination technique helps a lot. I mean, sometimes you get those questions where you have 4 options and two of them can be very easily eliminated, but when it comes to the other two, it's a struggle. So
Yeah,
it
yeah.
helps.
Thank you very much, Venkat, for your time.
No problem.
Now you know the most important thing. Each
Yeah.
one, each one, and that is I have been saying you active and answering the people even before clearing PMP, which shows your in-depth understanding of PMP. So I will be needing that a lot from your side,
Sure.
and I need more and more support so that we can get more certified PMPs. We are reaching actually 114 PMP. You all were the 113th PMP, and then we also had today Nadir. Maybe you have
Yeah,
seen it
yeah,
on
I
the
saw that.
WhatsApp.
Yeah,
Nadir just cleared before our journey. Nadir is 114 PMP. Then one student have exam tomorrow. Three students have exam on my birthday. So we will be
mm.
reaching like 120 maybe in this month.
Okay.
So the goal is to get as many certified as possible, maybe 1,000 this year. Let's see. Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you will land among the stars. But
Yeah.
this will not be possible without your support. I need a lot of support from your side.
No,
Each
absolutely,
each
absolutely.
one, every single PMP aspirant, I need their help.
No, absolutely, absolutely, Amber.
Thank you very much, and best of luck, brother, for
And
future.
thank you very much to you again for all your support and all the mentoring and coaching. Thank you very
Brother.
much, Amber.
Ibrahim is the first PMP of 2022. Abhishek, Mr. Isam Khan. One of my student, Palisa. Adirud, we have Jangir with us. Ali, Abhilash, Sabir, Asad, Manish, Abhishek, Mr. Jamal, Mr. Amer, Alvin, Neha, Mr. Raju, Pradeep, Amit, Rashmi, Amana, Uzair, Said, Rash, Ghulam, Muhammad, Aarti, Pawan, Tarek, Iqtidar, Numan, Mandar, Muazzam, Niju, Abraham, Wasim, Ahmed, Janjua, Aj, Usman Khan, Afzal Ali. So here we have my 100 certified PMP in 2022.